Welcome to CityWise. I'm your host, Tiana Stevens. CityWise is produced by the City of Rochester to shine a spotlight on city living at its best. Well, the saying that you don't know what you have until it's gone is true. That's exactly why Save Your Photos Month was created. It's an international campaign that aims to educate the public on the importance of safeguarding and archiving photos and documents. Save a Photo, Save a Memory happens in September. Nancy Carr is the organizer of the event. Dr. David Klug is the honorary chairperson and spokesperson. We're honored to have you both on today.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. So Nancy, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in this project.
Happy to. I've always been a photographer. I've been the family photographer in my very large and extended family for decades. And I also worked in photography companies. So I worked at Kodak and Nikon and also technology companies such as Apple. So I know technology, I know photography, and I love to take pictures. 2 years ago, I realized that I'm not doing what I really want to do, which is tell stories and help people remember their families and understand what their families are all about. And I met a person that was the founder of an organization of photo organizers. And when I heard about this organization, I said, there's my dream job. I quit corporate America and I decided to do this full time here in Brighton, in the Rochester area, and help families tell their stories with their photo collections.
Okay, and there's a special theme this year. Tell us about the theme.
The theme this year is wonderful. It's Save a Photo, Save a Memory, a weekend of remembrance. And it's in commemoration of all the people that serve us and protect us every year because it's the 15th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 terrible attack on New York and Washington. So it's a special event for us because we believe saving your photos and saving your memories are important, but it's also important to recognize the people that serve and protect us each day.
And Dr. Klug, you're a surgeon, also a veteran, so you're the spokesperson, a good fit for it. How did you get involved in the project?
Well, I've been always interested in pre-hospital emergency services. They're really part of the health team. Hospitals and physicians don't recognize that exactly, but the first person at the car accident is the first responders, be they fire departments or the volunteer ambulance companies or proprietary. Sure. And so we have started an organization a number of years ago called STEP, Society for Total Emergency Programs, teaching these people. Now we have a website to tell people where these organizations are and so on. Okay. And so we found out about this event and we thought we could combine our efforts and promote it.
Okay. And what do the events look like? What's happening and where?
They were started a few years ago by the Save Your Photos Alliance, which I'm a member of, and so are the other organizations that we're with. And in the last 2 years, Kodak has been very generous. Kodak Alaris has been very generous with scanning thousands of people's photos in the Rochester area. That was a one-day event, and only Kodak Alaris was there. This year, we're expanding it to 3 events on 3 days across the 9/11 weekend. And when people come to the event, they can bring their photos. It's free and open to the public, and they get to scan. We will scan them and we'll restore them for them and give them back on a USB stick if they bring one.
Okay, so these are free events. Do people need to register for them ahead of time?
No. On Friday, we'll have an event in the city from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and it's free and open to the public. On Saturday, we'll be in Greece at the Greece Historical Society, and that's from 10 to 4, so people can stop by any time. And then on Sunday, we'll be at Henrietta Ambulance on Calkins Road, and that'll be from 10 in the morning till 4 p.m. So there's plenty of opportunities. Okay. We're going to be traveling from each of the locations so that we're sure to hit as many families as we can. Okay.
And Dr. Klug, in addition to being the spokesperson, are you also planning to bring some of your own photos in?
Well, my wife is a keeper of family photos, as apparently you are. So, and probably in most families, they know the dates of their anniversaries and birthdays and so on. So she's now in the process of collecting old photos, and some are damaged and not faded and so on, which happens to the photos that were done on cameras before digitalization came on. So she will bring these, and we will have the opportunity to scan some of our old photos.
What's in your collection?
Oh, family pictures, vacations, holidays, reunions, those kind of events.
Mm-hmm. Now, when someone does bring in a damaged photo, what happens then? What can you do for them?
The first thing that we do is we scan the photo. We scan it in high resolution, so you've got all the data you can possibly get out of that photo. And then we look at it. Usually we start with a simple crop and some image adjustments to the photo, see if we can bring it back that way. If not, we'll run it through a program such as VividPix Restore, which really does an amazing job very automatically on restoring the vibrancy of a photo. If it's damaged beyond that, if it's torn, if it has been folded, many of these old photos have been, if it's been stuck to plastic, we'll actually go into a retouching program, such as Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Lightroom, and do some final retouching on it. So it's several stages. But most of the people with photos today in their albums, the biggest problem they have is they're faded. The colors have faded. So using just a My Scanner and some VividPix software, we can bring those photos back to exactly what they look like when they were taken 40, 50 years ago.
And you have the example of the ambulance photo. What's the story behind that one?
Well, the one with Elsie Bullisan. Elsie's husband was a fire chief at Henrietta Fire Department. Elsie was a housewife, raised children, got interested in the first aid aspect of the fire department, and Henrietta started, I think, their ambulance company around 1963, and she volunteered and so on. Well, then she became very good. She became involved with STEP, our organization, and actually was our National STEP Executive Secretary for a number of years. So she's very much involved in pre-hospital emergency services. And when I had some crazy ideas, she'd bring me down to earth and suggest we try it locally before we did anything else.
Very nice. And what were you able to do for Elsie's photo?
Basically scan it, and then run it through the VividPix Restore software, and it was automatic. There was nothing else we had to do. And the photo is very beautiful today. I'm sure she'd be very proud of it when she sees it.
Yeah.
What is the general reaction when people, they bring these prized possessions into you, and then they leave with them knowing that they're protected forever?
Well, there's a huge feeling of relief. Most people are totally overwhelmed with their photo collections. They just keep growing, and as they move and grow older, they're finding that they don't know what to do with these photos. Plus, they're technology challenged. Technology is really hard today. Being able to take a picture and then pick it up at the local drugstore was a lot easier than it is today, when you have to figure out computers and software and all that. So the feeling is relief, and the feeling is, oh, I finally found somebody that can help me with this. And to them, I've heard it over and over again, this is priceless. I didn't even know you could do it.
Right. What do you tell, or what's the advice for people when they're getting these photos, out of the shoebox or out of the albums? How should they prepare to bring these to you? And a certain type of USB for these kind of photos? Sure.
Well, we will take, for free, up to 50 photos or slides, 35mm slides, and we will scan them for them. I recommend that they start now gathering up their pictures, because it takes time to go in the basement, go through the albums, and pick the photos that you want. People have very large collections. Pick the ones that are in the albums, because they're usually the most meaningful. And if there's several pictures of the same person, but the person is with more than one person in another, or the family pet is in another, bring the story together. That's what I always recommend, and I help people pick the right photo, okay? And then after that, pick the ones that they think their families will want to cherish going forward.
Right.
When they bring the photos, also bring a USB stick. You can buy them in any store. We'll have some available to purchase, but I recommend you bring one from your home, or an SD card from your camera, and we'll just put that in there and give you your digital images right back to you, so you can walk out that day with them.
Very nice. Dr. Klug, do you have a favorite photo or group of photos that you'll be bringing, or your wife will be bringing?
Well, I expect she'll pick out some that are reunions or Christmas pictures, right? And that we'll proceed from there.
Very
But
nice.
it's the fun thing about this thing is I'm very pleased that we're cooperating with this group of experts doing this and providing this thing as a free service and so on, and also honoring the veterans, the pre-hospital emergency services, and the medical community emergency departments and those kind of activities that help us and
Right.
keep us alive and well.
Right. Nancy, how about the busy moms and families that just have, thousands of pictures on their phone? What do you recommend for them?
Most of these women, when their phone gets full, they go buy another phone, which is hysterical. I know one woman who has her dresser drawer in her bedroom full of old phones.
Because you can't delete the photos.
She won't delete the photos.
Right.
She doesn't know how to get them off her phone.
Okay.
They're hysterical. The other thing that I remind moms is that to print a photo of your child and display it in your home gives that child a sense of self, a self-esteem that you don't get by the fleeting shot of something on the back of a camera or a phone. When you do that and you put it in a frame and it's there for the child to see, all of a sudden they take on a new relationship with the family, and it's always a happy moment. So I really encourage moms, no matter how busy you are, go to a Walgreens or a Target or anywhere and just get them printed and put them on your refrigerator. That's what we used to do, and you should go back to it because
Or make a book.
Or make a book. Yeah, I'll show you a few of the books that I make. I make photo books of the family every year. This one I did way back in 2011, and it shows all of the kids every year of them growing up. And now they're a little bit older, but they've got these to look through. And when they come over to my house and they see them, they're just so thrilled to actually see them. If you want to do something simple, this is just a brag book. These are great for grandmas, so that grandma can see the spring concerts and the marching in the parade. That's the things that they want to see, and they can put them in their purse and take them around, show their girlfriends, which is really special.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and hosting these great events. Save a Photo, Save a Memory. A weekend of remembrance events are scheduled for September 9th, 10th, and 11th. And for more information, including those locations and times again, you can visit restoreyourphotos.org or call 585-503-5240.